Welcome to the Mindfulness broadcast. If you are new, just a reminder, I do pin myself so your beautiful names and faces are not seen. And I did want to talk about how we approach each day. So it's perfect that we started talking about morning and how we spend our morning and wishing each other good morning and what that really means to us to have a good morning. I think about, I've been prepping for this amazing conference that Robert and company are putting together on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week in Portland, Oregon. And I'm doing a session that's called the Neuroscience of Change. And so I've just been, getting my slides ready and prepping, and it's just reminded me, I mean, I know this, you all know I know this, I know that you know this because I talk about neuroscience and brain all of the time, but just how amazingly fascinating this brain of ours is. And so one of the things that I was being reminded of is how we are designed to just shut down at night. The brain just says, I have experienced so much today, so much that we aren't even conscious of. In fact, most of it that we aren't even conscious of, that I need to shut down for a few hours so that no more is coming in, at least minimal is coming in. I'm going to keep the baseline going while I do this. I'm also going to keep you alive, but I have to organize everything that I've seen, smelled, heard, tasted, felt, thought, had an emotion about, visualized in my head, or actually saw out in the world. I have to organize all of these things and get rid of the things that I don't think are serving me anymore, reinforce the things that I have done all day long or thought all day long that my brain goes, oh, we're going to keep doing this, so I'm going to make it even more efficient. It's just fascinating to me. And then when it's done, it wakes us up and says, okay, we're ready. The slate has been cleaned and you're ready to go out and input millions of bits of information into me again. And it's phenomenal. And that's just our present day. And it also stores, for me, the last 50 years of my life, day in and day out, of those experiences, and also the epigenetics of my heritage and my ancestors, that depending on how I live my life will turn on certain genetic coding or not. All in our brain. All that makes up about 2% of our body weight, and it runs this thing. So here's what I've been thinking about is this happens at night, and my brain does all of its thing. And then I wake up in the morning. How do I spend my first minute, 10 minutes, 30 minutes? What do I do? And if you are like most modern people, you grab your phone, right? You grab your phone. Maybe your alarm is even on your phone. And so you're just turning off your alarm, but you're there and you check the news, or somebody's texted, or you check your calendar, or whatever it is, right? Or if you're like me, you start already going through the list of things that have to get done in the day. And I'm already starting in a deficit, like, I should have did that last night, or, oh, I meant to do these emails, or, I get up at 5 to get all these things done. And I still wake up. If I sleep in till 5:15, then I'm like, oh, I've missed I've missed 15 minutes of getting stuff done. And so I'm already starting in scarcity, in lack, in subconscious patterns. And so really this time of year, I've got the caterpillars. And so I face my mornings differently, and I'm excited and I'm curious and I'm really looking and observing. And I've noticed over the last week how that has impacted my joy, quite honestly. I mean, it's also impacted my energy level and how I share things, and kind of this feeling inside of me about seeing the fruition of my work around creating this butterfly habitat. But it brings me so much more joy. And so as we go into this morning's practice, I want you to think about, after your brain has done its magnificent, miracle, magical duties at night, and you wake up fresh, What are you doing with that? How are you spending your first minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? And is that serving you? And maybe it is. Maybe it's a joyful practice or a quiet practice or prayer or something that really serves you. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's some other thing that you want to bring into consciousness and choose to change and to be more mindful about. So, with that, let's get into our practice. You can go ahead and close your eyes. My rooster, Pavarotti, is joining us this morning. You can also keep your eyes open and just taking a soft gaze. And we're going to focus our practice this morning just on joy. Joy, you've heard me say this before, is not about happiness. Joy is about observing the present moment and accepting it, accepting what is there. And so just bringing joy into this moment. Can we accept all that needs to be done, all the things that were done and need to be redone, who we are and how we are in this season of our lives? Just allowing all those thoughts to settle in. I'm going to be quiet here for a moment. And as I do, I want you to just allow that to fall into your brain and your mind and your body where it may. And then begin to slowly focus on your breath. You might find that your mind has wandered or gotten stuck somewhere. And when you notice that, bring joy to that. You've noticed it. Accept it. There's no shame. There's no way this practice has to look. And just simply bring your attention back to your breath. And in the same way you might find that your mind has wandered, you might also find that you're rigidly holding on to trying to focus. See if you can loosen that grip a little. Just flowing in and out with the breath. I want you to explore, just bring some curiosity into the idea of what brings you joy. Seeing if you can just accept whatever pops up for you without judgment, just observing. What brings you joy? Notice as you're thinking about joy, what physical, emotional sensations you might be experiencing. It might not all be good. There might be hard feelings in there. I shouldn't say good, I'll say easy. There might be hard feelings in there. Just notice your whole experience kind of hovering above and around, observing yourself in this process. Thinking about the different seasons of our life where joy might be more readily accessible to us, seasons where it feels very far away. And if anything feels a little too hard, a little too triggering, a little too difficult, you can always just return to your breath as we go through this practice. And now I want to take you out of the present moment, which seems contradictory, but I want you to think about, hopefully, all of us here will get to wake up tomorrow morning, that we will have the gift of another sunrise. And I want you to think about, imagine or reimagine, how do you want to spend your first few moments of that miracle? And as we begin to close, to bring your attention back to your breath, just listening to my voice, breathing in, breathing out slowly. One more time together, breathing in, breathing out. And then when you're ready, open your eyes. Thanks for being here, everyone. Thank you. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful morning tomorrow. Bye. Take care.